actually excited for this season. I think I'm excited for it because the Housewives shows that I'm watching now aren't really giving me much. Like Atlanta gave me nothing. So disappointed with that. Beverly Hills is just dry. They're Orange County dry. And I'm disappointed because there's some real good stuff going on Beverly Hills behind the scenes. Like they're not filming the real tea. They've been giving us a dog storyline for almost 11 episodes, guys. 11 episodes of a dog storyline. Last episode of Beverly Hills ended with Lisa Vanderpump doing a lie detector test. Like, this is freaking Jerry Springer. I was so disappointed. So I'm excited for the Real Housewives of Potomac because I feel like where other housewife shows have fallen, this cast has continued to rise, and I am so happy that they are back. Let's get into it. Woo child, these taglines, dry like the fashions in Potomac. I didn't remember any of them. They were so dry and corny. Hopefully the season won't be the same. I really hope we don't have a season of Giselle trying to get Karen back as a friend. Sis, you were horrible to her during the worst time in her life. Like Giselle was just continuously stabbing the knife in Karen's back while she was losing her parents. And I don't know if they can move on from that. I think Karen will rise to the occasion and do what she has to do to make a great season. But I don't think that she will ever get her friend back. Like Giselle needs to realize this relationship is done because you dogged her. Not only did you dog her last season, you dogged her during the hardest part of her life. Not saying that nothing is unforgivable, but that is going to take some time to heal. And I don't know if it's going to happen this season. Ashley and Gollum still going strong. It was confirmed by this strawberry and whipped cream scene that they had. That was so unnecessary. And I feel like they're doing the most to make us believe like everything is gravy, but it was just uncomfortable. Like I was watching it like, ooh, she was like stuffing the strawberry in his mouth and Michael. No. Now let's get into Candiace and this wedding. First of all, why does Karen's brother have to be punished for the sins of his father? Like, that's not fair. Like the kid has nothing to do with your husband cheating on your mama, Candiace. And I think her mom is being ridiculous. Like, Candiace is always ridiculous, right? And I have always been on the side of the mom because I feel like if you want to be independent, if you want to be grown, you want to do all of this stuff, stop having your mother provide for you and your whole husband. Like, you could not have had that wedding without your mom. Your husband with the brown dick could not have provided that kind of wedding for you. Your mom is giving you that. Your mom is giving you a home to stay in. Your mom is giving you both a car and a vehicle to drive around in. Like, so you can't really come at her, right? So I've always been team mom. I can't agree with her mom on this. That is her brother. She wants him at her wedding. It's sad enough that the poor dude wasn't even able to sit in the area for family. She had him all the way in the back with the freaking valet people watching the wedding like a stranger. But at least he was able to come. And I just feel bad for him because I just felt like it wasn't fair. Like the mom is saying all of these things about him, calling him a mistake. And I was with Candiace. You know what I mean? Like I really did feel bad for her because it's not fair. Her brother didn't do anything. Be mad at your husband. Or your ex-husband, deal with him. And I can't believe she's still mad at her ex-husband and she got a whole new husband. Like you got a whole husband who has been in Candiace's life since she was a kid and you still that tight about your ex-husband? Wow, he really was the love of her life. Cause she is still stressed out about this dude 30-something years later. Since we're here talking about Candiace and her mom, I really hope this season we get something different from Candiace. I don't want to have her screaming because she literally screams about her mom in her confessionals and her scenes. I'm tired already. We're a couple minutes in and I'm already tired. I do not want this to be a season about Candiace's mom taking care of her and her husband. And my mom does this with the money and she does that with the money. If you want your mom to stop taking money from her, move out of her townhouse. Pay for your own food. Pay for your own wigs. But you won't do that. If you're not going to do that, sis, shut up and give us something else. Because I cannot take a whole season of the same storyline. Especially when you're new. You got to give us something. Like, you got to come in like a powerhouse. You can't come in giving us the same old tired storylines when we're still trying to get used to you as a new cast member. You got to give us something. The white husband ain't enough controversy, honey. I will say, mama is a G. Candiace was doing all that crying. And she looked up and was like, those crocodile tears don't mean nothing to me, honey. Vicious. She vicious with a coin, but it's her coin. I'm thoroughly convinced that Matt is a producer of the show that worked his way in as Karen's gay white best friend on this show because there's no way. Matt came out of absolutely nowhere, Nobody knew him, but they knew about him. They knew about him in a way where I was just like, this dude has worked with production. It has to be, because how did this relationship form? And none of us knew. None of us knew about this relationship, but he comes in last season as her best friend. Really? Season 3? Okay, girl. He's a producer. He has to be. Oh, can we talk about how Monique, Good and Pregnant, was talking about being pregnant was so helpful because she doesn't really have the energy to deal with her kids and all the craziness. Her husband helps out and she doesn't really bother. She just lets the kids go and do their own thing. She's saying this in her confessional. We're watching a scene with her husband and her kids, and I think her son said mom once. Monique was like, sit down! Like, she cussed them kids out so severely. She got me together through the screen. When she told them to shut up and sit down, I did the same thing. I was like, yes, ma'am. But I was just cracking up because she was just like, yeah, I'm just so zen and calm now. And I'm like, really? Because you just cussed them babies out on national TV. Robin is back serving ramen noodle realness. And here she goes with the same storyline. I need you to switch it up, Robin. Please. What I don't need is for you to give us another season trying to convince us that you and Juan are in a good place. She does it all the time. And honestly, this is the first season that I believe it. I actually believe that they're in a good place. I don't care anymore. She has worked my nerves with Juan. I'm done. I don't care if you guys are in a good place or not. I'm done. I don't care that y'all banging like rabbits. I don't care that he's finally treating you like a human being, like the main chick, not the side chick. I don't care, girl. You got to come with something else. And you can't be Giselle Stud this season either. You got to come with something else. So I'm going to wrap up this first episode because it was really just an introduction into what the ladies are up to this season. And also a lot of it was Candice crying about this wedding that I don't care about. No shade. I just felt like you beat us over the head with it last season that, you know, me as a viewer, I'm over it. So let's get into episode 2. So we open up with Giselle and her friend. Is it Michael? You know, her messy gay friend. We open up with them two at a personal training boot camp class. And let me tell you something. I was watching this and I was stressed out. And I wasn't even at the freaking class. But this class stressed me out. I can't do that. I can't do those classes that have those, like, you have to beat the time and you got to beat the clock or you got to do. No. Just give me intervals and that's it. Don't put me on a timer. Don't come next to me and start yelling at me and screaming at me to go faster. I don't work like that. I am a Pilates chick. You know what I mean? I could do this. Give me my stations. Let me know what I have to do. Let me know how many times I have to do it. And I will do that and I will be done with my workout. But that screaming army drill sergeant stuff, that don't work for me. This stressed me out. So this episode, we finally get to see Candice's dress before the wedding. And what in the clears is going on with the straps? I said, is this a DIY project? Listen, everybody has different wedding tastes. I'm not hating on that. But I was just like, are these temporary straps? Are these straps to show you how the dress will look when the real straps come in? No, these were the real straps. They were like garter belts with like these big jewels on them. That wasn't Swarovski crystals. It was just big, you know, Clears and Michael's jewels. Nah, I guess your mom was like, I'm holding some of my coin back. Since your brother want to come, you pay for your own damn straps. And that's what we got. Candice's mom is she's such a G. So every mom, I would think every mom, every parent, every friend, if you're close to a bride, watching them put on a dress and the dress that they chose, that they said, this is the one that I'll say I do to, watching her daughter in that moment, she's sitting there looking, that's the one you want? You like it that long? Oh, okay. Not a tear was shed, nothing. Candice, you gotta start paying for your own stuff. You are going to be in a world of misery with your mom as an adult, and you are going to need your mom later in life. You do not want to ruin this relationship. You got to become independent. Because if you continue to eat off of her like a child when you are a grown woman with a whole husband, you are going to continue to be in this situation and continue to cause dissension between you and your mother. So you got to wrap that up, sis. This isn't healthy at all. And here go her mom again with the whole brother stuff. Ma'am, your ex has been living his best life for 28 years. You need to hop on that same train. I can't believe you got a whole husband who was obviously a really good man, that Candice still considers him her father as well. Although she has an active father in her life, she still considers this dude to be a father figure to her, so much that she has him walk her down the aisle. You obviously have a great man. How are you still stressed out about this father? You know what? Were they that married couple that got divorced but was still doing, drive-bys, even though they were with different people? This couple gives me messy. Like, they've been going back and forth for a minute. I feel like they've been divorced for 28 years, but probably stopped messing around with each other a couple years ago. That's what they give me. You can't be this strung out for 28 years. Is that possible? Does Candice's daddy have the hammer of all hammers? Okay, Thor. So Sherman and Giselle. So everybody's getting ready to go to Candice's wedding. Giselle is really excited because Sherman's supposed to be going with her. He calls her an hour before and tells her that he doesn't want to go. I get that Giselle is hurt, right? And I think that her and Sherman are the real deal. I think that Sherman wants to be with Giselle outside of the cameras. Unfortunately, when you're dating, especially a housewife on a Bravo TV show or anybody on a Bravo TV show, Bravo requires your entire life. And if you do not give that to them, you put yourself on a chopping block. So Giselle knows that if Sherman is in her life, if she's seriously dating him, he has to be on this TV show. It's just a requirement, right? If not, she can't keep her check on this show. So I think what's happening with Sherman, especially since Monique put his business out there like that, I think he's just afraid of being on TV now. He doesn't want to be a part of the show. He doesn't want to be a part of the cast. He doesn't want to see Monique. He doesn't want to make it a big deal. He wants people to forget about it. And you can't forget about it if you are constantly on TV and the storyline concerning you is a huge beef between two main cast members. That'll never be let go. And I think he just wants it all to be forgotten about. And unfortunately, if he continues to appear on the show, it won't be. So that's the thing. I think they really do like each other, but I think he just realized he can't be with her as long as she's on this TV show. Because she was crying some real tears. She was really hurt. Her kids really love him. The community that she's in really loves this dude. They're the real deal. I don't think they're the real deal anymore. I think she might be probably doing little secret drive-bys until she gets off the show or until, she gets recast. But until that day comes, her and Sherman can't be together. Can we talk real quick about the flashback scenes that those shady Bravo editors put into this episode of Ashley? Ciao. When I was watching all of those scenes, because listen, Ashley got beef with so many people. She's arriving to the wedding with Gollum. Woo! I outdid myself with that one. So they're arriving to the wedding and she's very nervous because she knows she has a lot of beef with people. Ashley does this every season. She drags everybody for filth on the season and at the reunion. And then when they start filming again, she wants to be friends. I hope they're not still mad at me. Ashley, what? You have dragged Karen. You have dragged Monique. You have dragged everybody. Nobody wants to be bothered with her, right? So she's talking to her confessional about, seeing everybody again after not seeing them at the reunion and really hoping that they could all move forward and move past this. She always says that. I hope we can move past this. Girl, you got a problem with people who have to continue to move past stuff with you. So while she's doing all this redemption talking in her confessional, the shady Bravo editors start playing all of Ashley's scenes where she's like talking about people, dragging people, saying the worst things about people. And I was watching that and I was just like, Ashley, you are going to have one hell of a season and one hell of a reunion. These ladies are going to get sweet revenge on you, sis. And honestly, you brought it on yourself. Gollum is going to be your downfall. How you with him all this time and you still don't have your own money to get out of this situation? Back to Candice's wedding, and we're filming the whole hoopla of everything going back and forth. Candice's mom is annoying her. She doesn't really feel like it. All these people arrived to her wedding late. Listen, I know we Black, right? But I just cannot believe that like half the freaking guests arrived at the wedding ceremony so late. Like, I couldn't believe it. You at least are supposed to be there before the bride arrives. You know what I mean? And normally the bride is uber late. So how late were these people to this woman's wedding? We get a close-up of the dress. It's like this weird ruching around her right titty and then these candy strap clears, straps. Oh gosh. Girl, Potomac. Potomac. You know what? As I was watching this wedding ceremony, I kept on looking around, and even at the groom section, and I was just like, well, where is Chris's son? Probably somewhere waiting to still get picked up by his daddy. That baby probably down the street. I'm never letting it go that dude's son lives down the street and he hasn't seen him for 10 years. Nah, sir. It's you. It's you. Ain't no mama strong enough to keep you away from your son that lives down the street for 10 years. I ain't never letting that go. Ever. You shouldn't have said it. See, reality TV. Candice may forgive you, not the viewers. You know what? A lot of people didn't like Chris's vows. I thought they were cute. I didn't have a problem with the white guy using R&B lyrics in his vows to say to his black wife. It wasn't a problem. I don't know why Giselle even made that comment. That wasn't a problem. It was really cute. She was for it. She cried. His wife was fine. Giselle didn't need to say that. They didn't even need to keep that in. There was nothing wrong with his vows. But then she jumps the broom. Well, her white husband. Now that part we could have talked about. I was like, okay. What did our ancestors say? Is she jumping a broom with a white man? That's my Harriet Tubman impersonation. Sorry, Queen Harriet. Now let's talk about this reception. Gorgeous. Oh, Candice, that reception, beautiful. Let's do that again. Beautiful. Nope. Anyway, a mess. Anyway, that reception, gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Every little detail, gorgeous. Candice, those are real tears because I was crying with her. Like, oh my goodness, when they opened the doors, I was like, oh my God, I'm gagging. It was absolutely beautiful. For $200,000 in Potomac, Mama Candice, you got robbed. $200,000 for that. Do you know what you can get in Los Angeles and New York City for $200,000 for just a reception? Oh, they took your whole money in Potomac. Ain't nothing in Potomac looking like that costing $200,000. Now, it was gorgeous, but oh my goodness, for $200,000, you better give me that Tyler Perry wedding reception with black angels hanging from the sky playing trumpets. Excuse me? They took your money, ma'am. They took your money. That was not no $200,000 worth of work. That's a cool scam. Maybe even $100,000 right there just for the plates and the food. But all that other stuff, you need another $100,000 to dress up half a hall? Are you kidding me? Nah. Scam alert. Scam alert. So Monique, who was clearly wrong, tries to settle everything with Giselle. But here's my problem with Monique. You thought that she was going to be cool with you after all of that? Giselle wanted an apology a certain way, and she also wasn't letting Monique off the hook, especially since her emotions are still raw because she realizes that her man does not want to be with her because of what Monique did. I think the only reason why Giselle was able to squash it with Monique at the end was one, because she was pregnant, and like she said, I don't want to be fighting with no pregnant woman on national TV. And also because she knows that wasn't Monique's idea. That was the producers that brought Sherman's ex-wife onto the show to expose him. Storyline and mess, and the producers do all of that stuff. And when you sign over your life to them, that is what you sign up for. So she could be mad at her for being the bone carrier, but she knows that she wasn't the originator of that. She knows that is production doing its work to give us a season. So she was just like, you know what, I'm gonna let this go, because one, she's pregnant, and two, let's be real, Monique didn't do that. She didn't think that up. Production gave it to somebody and was just like, who wants to do this? And Monique said, I will, because she messy. So we wrap this episode up with Candice changing into a cute little soft hop dress to serenade Chris with her own little personal song. And you know what? It was actually really cute. I really, really liked the song that she gave him. Chris did a little bit of, crying because his baby sang a little song to him. You have Ashley and Gollum trying to work themselves back into everybody's good graces, but they can't because they've messed up so many relationships last season that nobody wants to be bothered with them. And that leads us into the messy trailer for the rest of the season. We have this whole little penis grab gate with Michael, and again, his sexuality is coming into question. He's saying that he wanted to suck off the cameraman. The cameraman actually sued the show. Oh, can I say that? Allegedly. Ciao. Because, you know, he was sexually assaulted by Michael. So it was a big deal. It was a really, really big deal. And so I know it's going to be a huge part of this season. And Ashley went and got pregnant because she don't want to get dragged the following season. But sis, you dragged each and every woman on this show. They are going to drag you for filth. And then we get the old housewife from the first Real Housewives of Potomac season. She's coming back. She is now no longer with her husband. Remember, after she broke up with her white bae, she became like pro-black. She started wearing her hair out in an afro with every little hashtag she was putting on, black woman, I am black. Like she rediscovered her blackness after divorcing that white man. So I don't know what this woman is going to come on this show and do, but I'm excited. That trailer for the season, I was like, ooh, it's going to be messy, and I'm going to be here to review it. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in just a few days for the following episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Have a good night, guys. Love you much. Bye.